Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So I'm taking the Glam Glow Glow Setter and misting that all over my face. I'm then taking my NARS Creamy Concealer and I'm just applying that onto my lid, and I will go ahead and blend that out, and this will be basically our base for our eyeshadow. So I'm taking a flat shader brush just to really press that into the skin. Then I'll just quickly evenly blend that out, and just with light pressure with my fingers, just really blending it out and softening it down as well. So moving on, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set that in place with the Kat Von D translucent setting powder. I'm just taking a flat shader brush and I'm just going to quickly dust that over that concealer, just so that way we have a base to work with, as I stated earlier. So just very lightly dusting that over the top of that concealer, and then moving on to eyeshadow. So I'm taking the Huda Beauty Gold Edition palette and I'm taking Sandalwood as my transition color. I'm just applying that just above the crease area, starting in the center of the lid, and using windscreen wiper motions and circular motions just to really buff that out. So this is going to act as our transition shade. So basically what you want to do is you want to hold the brush at the very end as much as you can, just so that way you have a very soft transition. So I'm just going to quickly apply that onto the other eye and just really blending that out, and whatever product is left towards the end, I'm just going to bring that up underneath the brow bone. Now I'm taking I would say a pencil brush, and I'm going in with henna, and I'm just applying that directly into the crease just to really create that depth and really make the eye pop. So what we're going for is a really sultry kind of look using the orangey, reddy, pinky tones. So just blending that out with a crown fluffy brush. I believe the brush that I used was the C511. I'm just going to quickly buff that all out and blend it all in together before I move on to the next step. So next I'm going to take that concealer that I was using earlier by NARS, and I'm just going to really apply that onto the mobile lid. So I'm just going to apply a very small amount onto the back of my hand, then taking a flat shader brush, I'm just going to use that to apply it onto the lid, just so that way I can kind of clean it up a little bit for the next shade. So you just really want to start very close to the lash line and then gradually building it up, and just really using patting motions just to press that in place. Now, just so I can create that very strong pigmented look, I'm not going to set that concealer with a translucent powder. I'm just going to go straight in and use the eyeshadow. So the next shadow that I will be picking up is Moon Dust, and that's also from the Huda Beauty palette, which is the color that is on the screen. And I'm just taking a flat shader brush and I'm just going to press that right on top of that concealer, just to really make that center of the eye pop, just to kind of create that halo effect. So just really patting that down. We're not blending anything at this point. Then once that's done, just moving on to the next eye and just building that color up. So if you don't get the depth that you want from the first press down, just apply another amount if you would like, just a second layer. And then just with that same fluffy brush by Crown Brushes, I'm just going to blend that all out together. So moving on to lashes, I'm just going to quickly go ahead and curl my lashes and apply the BADgal Bang new mascara by Benefit Cosmetics. This is honestly a really good mascara, guys. You should really give it a go. I'm just going to apply a quick layer of that. I'm not doing lashes today, just keeping it very soft and simple. Now I'm going to clean up any fallout under my eye using the Neutrogena Makeup Remover Cleansing Towelettes, just to really clean up and sharpen up that eye makeup look. I'm just going to quickly mist the Glam Glow over my face again and move on to the Hourglass Veil Primer. This is my holy grail. I absolutely love this. I have to say it is by far my favorite primer. The next thing that I'll be doing is taking the illuminating liquid highlighter by Maybelline and just applying that all over my face just to kind of have that glowy dewy look today, which is basically one of my favorite looks, especially because my face is sometimes on the dry side. I like to give it that bit of a glowy look. So I'm going to take the NYX Dark Circle Concealer and just correct the dark circles underneath my eye, just really to brighten that area up. And I'm just going to also apply it around my smile lines and near my mouth as well, just so that way I can brighten up those areas, because they do tend to get a little bit dark sometimes too. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that as well. Next, I'm going ahead and jumping into foundation. I'm taking the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. I am in the shade Porcelain. I'm just going to quickly apply that using a sponge. I'm just going to dab small amounts over my face and just quickly buff that through using a beauty blender. So I like to use patting motions and not swiping motions, just so I can kind of have that flawless effect look at the end. Next, I'm going in with my concealer. This is the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. I'm just applying that to the high points of my face and basically areas that I want to bring forward. So just under the eye, around the chin, the bridge of my nose and my forehead area. And just the same as the foundation, I'm just patting that into the skin using that blender. Then I'll be moving on to the Kat Von D translucent powder and just setting the concealer in place. So I just basically like to go ahead before I set anything in place and just quickly touch up using the beauty blender, just so that way you don't have any concealer creases under the eye before I apply the actual powder in place. So I'm just going to do that for you guys now. Next, taking the Studio Fix Press Powder by MAC, and I'm just going to quickly dust that all over the remaining areas of my face using a flat kabuki angled brush, just to really set the rest of that foundation and make sure it just really kind of makes it last the whole day. So make sure you always cover your neck area, just so that way you don't have two different tones. Just applying that all over my face really, and then I will go ahead and buff that out with a fluffy brush. So the next thing I'll be doing is applying my bronzer. The bronzer that I have taken is the Give Me Sun by MAC Cosmetics. I'm just applying that around the hollows of my cheek. I will also take that around my temples and just along my chin. So just basically going in the number 3 direction, and then I will buff that out using a fluffy brush as well before I move on to the blush. Now the blush, I will be taking the BYS Cosmetics, and this color is Coral. I really love the pop of color. I'm just taking a flat fluffy brush and just applying that onto my cheekbones and then gradually blending it back towards the ear. Now moving on, I am just going to take the same translucent powder that I did earlier by Kat Von D and just apply that underneath my eyes, just so that way I can touch up my eyeshadow and I can just dust it away in case I get any fallout. So I'm taking Cocoa and Moon Eater on a pencil brush and just applying that into the creases of my eye, and I'm just going to blend that out using the Crown fluffy brush that I did earlier, just to kind of have that soft transition look, but we also do want to keep the depth as well of the color. I will also apply Moon Dust again into the center of the lid. Now once that's all blended together, I'm just going to also take those two colors, Cocoa and Man Eater, and just apply that onto my lower lash line as well. And then once I've applied that, I'm just going to dust away that translucent powder and move on to my eyebrows. Now for eyebrows, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills in soft brown with an angled brush, just to really define my eyebrows again, and I will set them in place using the Clear Brow Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. Next, I'll be taking the IT Cosmetics Tight Line Mascara. This is perfect, guys, for your lower lash line. It can really get in there without messing anything up or really like touching your eyeshadow, anything like that underneath the eye. Just makes it very, very quick and easy to apply this because of the very thin tip, the applicator, so it's really good. Now moving on to the Fenty Beauty highlighter, the color that I'm taking is Hustle Baby, and applying that onto the high points of my face, and I'll be using the Crown Fluffy fan brush just to apply that as well. So once you've finished highlighter, moving on to the lips, I'm taking the NYX Cosmetic lip liner pencil. I'm not too sure of the shade for this one in particular, but I will list it in the description box down below. I'm just quickly creating a base to work with for the lips, so I'm just basically outlining them and filling them in. Now moving on to the Too Faced liquid lipstick, I will also list the shade down below as well. Just applying that over the lip liner, then I'll just quickly touch up the lines using that pencil once again. So once lips are done, I'll be moving on to the Soft and Gentle highlighter by MAC. I'm just taking a flat shader brush, and this is my Bobbi Brown brush, just applying that onto the eyebrow bone and just on the inner corners of my eye as well, just to have that bit of a pop of color. So I'm just going to quickly apply that on both sides, and we'll be right back. Now I'm just going to quickly intensify the contour once again. I'm taking Dark Deep by MAC. This is their bronzer. I'm just applying that over the Give Me Sun just to really intensify that look. And now we'll go ahead and buff that out, and that is the finished look, guys. So I hope you like it. If you have any questions, if you want me to do any particular look, please leave it in the description box down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your reviews, and I hope you liked it. And until next time, thank you for watching.